Allora, buon pomeriggio a tutti e benvenuti. È un piacere accogliervi qui per questo workshop dedicato al progetto Life Infusion. Il progetto nasce con l'obiettivo di promuovere pratiche innovative per la gestione e la depurazione delle acque reflue. Questa iniziativa di oggi qui a Genova vuole promuovere le attività svolte in Spagna dai nostri partner, avvicinare esperienze e diffondere buone pratiche. Oggi siamo onorati di avere qui con noi in presenza i nostri più importanti collaboratori. Inizieremo questo workshop proprio dando loro il benvenuto e l'opportunità di condividere con noi le loro esperienze. Come sapete, la giornata si è aperta con una visita all'impianto di Monte Scarpino e questo pomeriggio approfondiremo i diversi temi chiave con una suddivisione in 2 sessioni principali. La prima parte sarà dedicata agli interventi dei nostri ospiti che ci aiuteranno a contestualizzare il progetto e le sfide comuni a livello tecnico, e a seguire nella seconda sessione ci concentreremo su un altro progetto europeo che ci sarà esposto dalla segretaria generale di ACR Plus, una rete internazionale di città e regioni che condividono l'obiettivo di promuovere una gestione sostenibile delle risorse e di accelerare la transizione verso un'economia circolare nei loro territori e oltre. E in seguito anche ciò che nel territorio di Genova viene realizzato e sviluppato. Vi ringrazio di essere qui con noi, in particolare chiaramente ringraziamo i nostri ospiti per la loro disponibilità e l'impegno che ci accomuna in questo percorso. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It's a pleasure to have you all here for this workshop dedicated to the Life Infusion project. This project aims to promote innovative practices for the management and treatment of wastewater. Today's event here in Genoa is focused on sharing the activities carried out by our partner in Spain, bringing experiences closer together and disseminating best practices. We are honored to have our key collaborators with us today, and we will begin this workshop by welcoming them and giving them the opportunity to share their experiences with us. Facciamo un applauso intanto per scaldarci, dai, così iniziamo. You know that the day started with a visit to the Monte Scarpino facility, and this afternoon we will delve into several key topics divided in 2 main sessions. The first part will be dedicated to presentation from our guests who will help us contextualize the project and explore shared technical challenges. Following this, in the second session, we will focus on another European project, which will be presented by Secretary General of ACR Plus. ACR Plus is an international network of cities and regions committed to promoting sustainable resource management and accelerating the transition to a circular economy in their territories and beyond. We will also discuss the work being carried out and developed here in the Genoa region. Thank you all for being here, and special thank you to our guests for their commitment and shared dedication to this journey. Thank you, thank you. Prima di dare la parola ai nostri speaker, abbiamo il piacere di avere un saluto istituzionale, the Chairman BOD AMIU, Giovanni Battista Raggi.
Bueno, primera cosa, bienvenidos a todos los amigos de España. Espero que tuviste una buena tarde ayer con nosotros. Bienvenue aussi à François Bonnet, qui est connecté. Mais nous ne le pouvons pas voir, mais c'est la même parce que je peux nous voir. And so the official meeting nowadays is in English, so I have to switch to English. And so everybody, I will be very, very short in my greetings because the most important thing is to hear from you, from your experience and all about your experience in Infusion as a project to disseminate our knowledge, also not only between us, but also for all the people that is with us now. So we are very proud that you are here with us, and thank you very much because you have done a long way to come to Genoa. And also greetings from the municipality of Genoa that is very proud also to have you here with us. So thanks and have a good job and have a good sessions.
Prendiamo l'altro microfono per gli interventi, grazie, così abbiamo l'opportunità di ospitare il primo intervento di oggi. Now I'll turn it over to our first international speakers, kick off the session. Okay. The title is Life Infusion Project, Intensive Treatment of Waste Effluents and Conversion into Useful, Sustainable Outputs, Biogas, Nutrients and Water. Is with us researcher at Eurocat, Caroline Ziefeld. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Should I here?
As you want.
Ah. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Caroline Ziefeld. I'm a researcher at the Eurocat and the Life Infusion Project Coordinator. First of all, and also in the name of Eurocat as project coordinators, thank you to AMIU for organizing this event. It was very interesting, the visit. And thank you for giving us such amazing food, always, especially that, it's amazing. It's the love language, exactly. No, so amazing, amazing. Yes, so I will be just doing a brief introduction to the project so that you know what it is about. And then my colleagues will present to you really interesting results that we have obtained now and the future prospects, the future plans we have for the end of the project, right? So, okay, which is the context of this project? In Life Infusion, we are working with two kinds of very complex but very also rich and interesting wastewaters that come from two kinds of wastes, right? We have the leachate coming from the landfills and the digestate, the liquid digestate that comes from the organic fraction of the municipal solid waste, right? So in case of the landfills, we all know that we are trying to not promote the landfilling, but it is a reality. And even if we close them, we will have leachate generating for a few years. So there is this wastewater that we must treat. And in the case of the organic fraction, we have the compost, the biogas, and this digestate that is also a really complex wastewater, but also with a lot of opportunities, right? Complex, but very rich. Here's just some data. As you see, there is a lot of increasing in the biomethane production, increasing selective collection of the waste. That is good, but that's why we are generating then more organic fraction. So we need really to see how we deal with this digestate we are generating, right? This is a little bit, the system we have, right? We have this organic fraction of municipal solid waste that goes into the anaerobic digestion. Then we have a solid separation, and we generate here the liquid digestate that I was talking about earlier. And in the case of the non-separated waste fraction, we have this landfill that is generating this leachate, right? So now we have as the situation, you know how we are treating, right? This wastewaters is not the most effective treatment that we can have. So here we have these resources, and it is a problem nowadays, but this can be also seen as an opportunity. For us in Life Infusion, this is an opportunity, right? It doesn't work. No, perfect. So where are we here with the Life Infusion? There, right? We want to take these two kind of wastewaters, and what we want to do with it, we want to produce biogas and biomethane, to produce biofertilizers that we can then sell and commercialize it, and finally also reclaimed water that we can use, for example, for the fields, right? As regenerated water. So as a general view, the aim of this project is to demonstrate the technical and economical feasibility of a solution like this and disseminate the results of the project, of course, as we are doing today, to maybe apply it to other sectors and, of course, in other parts of the world. And we have the process that I will be talking about in a few slides. We want to demonstrate it in 2 demo sites. We have already finalized the first demonstration in Barcelona, and we are about to start the second demonstration in another part of Spain, in Asturias, we hope to start now in a few weeks, right? Here you have both sites. The first one, Ecopark 2 in Barcelona. Later, my colleagues will talk about a little bit about the results that we have obtained there with liquid digestate. And now we're about to start the piloting in Cogersa, in Gijón, with the landfill leachate. Right, so what we want to see here, especially is the seasonal variability of all this process because of the variability also of what we are getting, right, the waste. The transferability, of course, and reproducibility of the solution. A little bit of the timeline. We started here in 2020, first with the lab scale optimization of all the process, then the adaptation and construction of the pilot plant. We did all the pilot operation in Ecopark 2 in Barcelona, and demonstration essays with the recovered resource that I mentioned before, the biofertilizers and the reclaimed water, and also the purge of the bioreactor I will be talking about later. And now we finalized the pilot installation in the second demo sites, and we are starting now with the operation in the second demo site. So here you have a little bit more detail about what we are working on in the project. Here you have a few pictures of all the pilot units. What are we doing? This is the main process, right? We have the leachate or the digestate that I mentioned before. We start with a stripping process to recover some ammonia and also lower the ammonia inside the wastewater to reduce the inhibition in the second step, that is a thermophilic anaerobic membrane bioreactor. In this reactor, we generate biogas, then is going to be treated with the Abad bioenergy, that is a technology to upgrade this biogas and produce biomethane. And then from the reactor, we get a stabilized purge that you can see there that can be used as fertilizer, and a permeate from the membranes, ultrafiltration membranes. Then we treat with the membrane contactors to recover the rest of the nitrogen, also as fertilizer, ammonium sulfate. And finally, a step with regenerated reverse osmosis membranes to get a really good quality water to be able to use it in agronomical activities, right? So this is the general process we are working on. So in here you can see the reactor with the ultrafiltration membranes. This is the stripping unit. Here the reverse osmosis pilot system. And then here a general picture of the membrane contactors, right? So all these units were first in Barcelona, and now they are installed in Cogersa to start with the second phase of the piloting. So to end this presentation, as you see, a quick review of what Life Infusion is. Just present to you again the partners. Eurecat, we are coordinating the project, and we did all the lab scale optimization of the process. We have Ecopark del Besós, who are doing the first piloting in Barcelona, Cogersa in charge of the second piloting phase in Gijón, Detricon with the stripping technology, Aqualia in charge of all the engineering of the piloting system, IRTA working with the recovered products, seeing how this can be applied, and Amio Genova and AMB working a lot on dissemination of the results of this project, right? And here you have some information about the budget we have for this project. So that's it. Thank you for your attention. And I hope you enjoy the following presentations that will be very interesting.
Caroline Ziefeld, thank you. Thank you very much. The second theme is Life Infusion at Ecopark 2, from conventional treatment to circularity. It's an engineer at Area Metropolitan de Barcelona MBB. It's with us, Julia Jereza Atienza.
So hello, good afternoon. I'm from the Metropolitan area of Barcelona. And now that all of us know what is Life Infusion project, let's have a look at the first results obtained in the first demo site in Ecopark 2 in Barcelona. But first, let me introduce a little bit the Metropolitan area of Barcelona. So the Metropolitan area of Barcelona is located in Catalonia, Spain, and it's a public entity. And it's a public entity that has a region of these 36 municipalities involved. Also, it's an extension of 636 square kilometers, and we produce, our inhabitants produce more or less 1.5 million tons of municipal solid waste per year. So, although it's true that the waste collection is in charge of the municipalities, the waste treatment is a competence of this AMB metropolitan area. So our competences include territory, urbanism, mobility and transport, housing, social and economic development, and environment. Here is where we are involved in the waste management process. So there's I think that in Genova is the same. In our territory, there is this 5-model system of waste collection that includes the paper, the plastics and metals, right? The organic matter and the glass, thank you. And also the refuse or mixed waste. Also, we have recycle centers or green point. So as I said before, the waste collection is in charge of the municipalities. So but also the metropolitan area tries to write the roadmap to follow in order to more or less have the same collection system or model. So in our territory, there are different kind of waste collection systems. We have the more common street bins, but also we have some places where are the door-to-door, and also a smart closed bins. But how we can treat or manage all these waste? So the metropolitan area of Barcelona owns 12 different facilities, waste treatment facilities, that includes 4 MBT plants, 4 biological treatment plants that we call them ecoparks. Also, there's 1 energy recovering plant, 3 sorting plants, 2 composting plants, and 1 wood and bulky waste treatment plant. Moreover, we have also a transfer plant in order to minimize the impact of the environment related to the transport, and also optimize the logistics. So why we are involved in this project, right? The metropolitan area of Barcelona, we try always to reduce. Our purpose, yes, has always been to reduce all the rejections that we have in our treatment plants, and try to close the loop between waste and resources. That's why we are constantly searching innovative solution and innovative systems to try to reduce this rejection. And it is, in fact, in the liquid fraction of the digestion that we find a very nice source of resources. So as Caroline said just before, let's go deeper in the results obtained in this first demo site in Ecopark 2 in Barcelona. There is an aerial picture of this MBT plant, and also in the pink circle there is you can see the pilot plant, the Life Infusion pilot plant. That, as you can see, is quite big. It's a semi-industrial pilot plant. So in this system we went, we start from this effluent that is dense and also is, as you can, looks like chocolate. It has a very high concentration of organic matter. And from this effluent, we went to a very a clear water that can be also applied into agriculture and aquaculture. So going deeper in the results in each part of the process that Caroline said before, we start with the stripping and scrubber unit. Here we tested the system in with different temperatures in order to see how the temperature impact on the nitrogen recovery removal. So we have seen that in temperatures above 45 degrees, we achieve the KPI expected in the project that can remove or recover at least more than 50%. In the anaerobic membrane bioreactor, we also tested using different organic loading rates. And we have seen that the higher is the organic loading rate, the better works the system, and more organic, more chemical oxygen demand can be removed from the effluent. Also, there is some relation related to hydraulic retention time and the biogas produced, that we can increase the biogas production and we can have also more or less between 1.2 and 3 cubic meter of biogas per liter of wastewater treatment, sorry. So related to the membrane conductors, although this step of the systems won't be possible to operate during a long period of time, we have seen that the higher the basic was the pH, the better works the system and would be more possible to recover higher amount of nitrogen. But in the last step of the process, there's a regenerate membrane that we saw that the more acid was the pH, the better works the systems. So, but we have to remember that from the membrane, yes. It's okay. No, sorry, that's the osmosis reverse. The name of it's not correct, okay? The reverse osmosis, sorry. So the more acid is the pH here in the system, the better performance was the osmosis reverse. So here there's a conflict. We have to play within the pH, because in the other step we have a very basic pH, and now the optimal is like more acid. So we are studying the possibility to change and to use a stripping and scrubber unit just before the anaerobic membrane bioreactor instead of the membrane contactors. So in conclusion, around 1.5 million tons of municipal waste is generated in the metropolitan area of Barcelona, and we have to do something to try to reduce the amount of rejections in our MBT plants. That infusion solution tested at EcoPark 2 allows us to increase the energy obtained, also to produce different kind of nutrients and a reclaimed water, and that the positive results obtained during the project have motivated us to include this solution in a larger scale in our waste treatment plants in the future.
Thank you to Julia Teresa Atienza. The third title for this, it's Life Infusion in Cogersa's Open Lab, Advancing Circularity by Transforming Wastewater into Resources. It's with us PhD researcher at Cogersa, Laura Meguido Fernandez.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to start the presentation by explaining a bit about Cogersa, for those who don't know this public company. And then I will continue explaining our role in the Life Infusion project. So Cogersa is the consortium for the solid waste management in Asturias. We are in northern Spain. And this public entity was created in the early 80s to solve the problem of waste in the region. So it started as a controlled landfill, but nowadays it's much more than that. The public entity is constituted by the regional government from the Principality of Asturias and all the municipal councils, the 78. The consortium owns the company with the same name, which is a public company that handles the waste operations. We also carry out some of the activities for waste collection, and we also differentiate between the type of the waste using different colors for our containers. We also have the management of 41 civic amenity sites in which we collect the special waste like residues from construction and demolition or electrical devices, for example. And 6 of these amenity sites that you can see in yellow are managed by municipalities. Cogersa also controls 9 transfer stations across Asturias to optimize the collection of this waste. And you can see those with the red spots. Sorry. Can you see me better? Okay. And our waste treatment center is in the middle of the region. You can see the purple dot between the cities of Avilés, Gijón, and Oviedo, which are those main cities in Asturias. To give you some data, in 2023, Cogersa managed around 840,000 tons of waste. Almost half of it is municipal waste, and the following biggest amount of waste that we manage are construction and demolition waste, around 20%, and industrial waste, around 16%. But we also have waste, for instance, from hospitals, clinical waste, sewage sludge, much more. 43% of this waste were destined for recovery operations. And we can do all of that thanks to the 500 employees that we work at Cogersa Center. Some of the circular products that we obtain thanks to all the activities carried out in the waste treatment center are biogas that we collect from the landfill and that we produce in our anaerobic digestion plant. We also produce electricity with some engines that transform the biogas in electricity, aggregates for construction and demolition waste, and compost of different kinds. Of course, sorted materials that can be recycled. And we do all of this in an integrated waste treatment center of around 4 square kilometers inside. We have 5 sorting plants. One is an MBT plant, the mechanical biological treatment, another for light packaging waste, other for paper and cardboard waste, construction and demolition waste, and waste from electrical and electronic equipment. We have one anaerobic digestion plant in which we treat the organic matter that is separated collectively, is collected in a separation in origin, sorry. And here we produce biogas, as I said before, and digestate. And this digestate is used also in a compost process. We obtain also compost from green waste and manure and from sewage sludge. We have 3 landfills. One is for hazardous waste, another for non-hazardous waste, and the last one for inert waste. And we have one waste-to-energy plant in which we treat mainly the clinical waste, waste from public hospitals mainly. And we have 4 plants to treat hazardous waste that include physicochemical treatment, solidification and stabilization processes, treatment of marble oils, and recovery of synthetic oils. And finally, there are other facilities, such as an area for bulky waste or one facility for animal byproducts. We have also 2 depuration plants for wastewater, a biogas grid, and also a laboratory and an area destined for R&D projects that we call Open Lab. So the Open Lab, you can see it in the screen, is quite close to the offices, and well, between the offices and the landfill. This is a satellite view of the Open Lab, and it's just for showing you that we are creating this space thanks to co-funded projects, and it's also under development. One of these projects, of course, is the Life Infusion project that my colleagues have also talked about it. The idea is to give unintensive treatment to wastewater in order to obtain biomethane, biofertilizers, reclaimed water, microalgae. And we have other projects that will allow us to use aluminum salt slag, for instance, to obtain zeolites that can be used for wastewater. Also, we are involved in another project, a Horizon one, about chemical recycling, in which we are going to use HCl technology, which is hydroliquefaction, to obtain oil from plastic waste. And there are many others, as you can see, because we obtain funding from regional, national, and European projects. So this is the view. This is a photograph of the Life Infusion plant, the one that was previously in Eco Park, and that we have nowadays in our center. So some of this equipment were already tested in Barcelona, such as the anaerobic digestion digester, the ultrafiltration, the membrane contactor, and the stripping unit. But we want to integrate in this chain of technologies the microalgae cultivation plant that we have already in our Open Lab, and also a biogas upgrading unit that is developed by Aqualia. So the idea is to start treating leachate that we generate in our non-hazardous landfill. And afterwards, we are going to treat the liquid fraction of the digestate, the same that was done already in Barcelona. So the idea is to obtain different outputs. The biofertilizers, in this case, will be ammonium sulfate, biomethane by upgrading the biogas that we obtain, also the reclaimed water, and microalgae biomass. This microalgae biomass will be obtained in our microalgae cultivation plant that you can see in this photograph. And we are going to use the nutrients that are present in the wastewater, the nitrogen and the phosphorus, to grow this microalgae, and also the CO2 that is produced in the emissions from the incineration plant. So this is a timeline. We expect to start the plant in a few weeks, hopefully with good results and fast. And the idea is to start using the leachate and afterwards the digestate. We have carried out different studies at the university in order to support a bit this initial operation of the plant. And in parallel, we will grow the microalgae, and we are going to study how the consumption of this microalgae will evolve as we change the feedstock. We are going also to study the compostability of the digestate that we produce, and we are going to carry out some biofertilization essays in another project that is called NutriGest, and it's one that is focused on the Eucalyptus globulus in Asturias, a tree that I'm sure you all know. So what then? What do we expect after the Life Infusion? Is it going to be an afterlife for the Life Infusion plant? We hope So we are starting even to start including the plant in new proposals. For instance, last September we sent a proposal, a live proposal, in which we include the use of this plant, for sure, in a different context and with different objectives. But in the end, that's the idea that we have for the Open Lab, to have an open innovation space in which we can try different technologies in order to valorize our waste, our effluents, and contribute to walk towards a more circular economy. So that's everything. If you have my details in the presentation. If you have any question, do not doubt in contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura Meguido Fernandez. Thank you. The last title of this first session is The Agronomic Use of Effluents from the Infusion System. They are researchers at the ARTA, Rafaela Cáceres and Carme Biel. You need two microphones? No, only one. If you can come here for the camera.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming. And we had in this project this part, the agronomic part. That means that the all products that are produced, all products, I don't know, but some of the products produced with the Life Infusion system, we try to perform and to have added value for the agronomic use. I introduce here the horticultural thing because we have been working in horticulture. This one. This is an overview of we are going to speak about. We are going to have a framework of horticulture to understand why we are doing this kind of thing. After that, we are going to speak about effluent application, the requirements we have to have when we want to use products, recycled products. And then we are going to explain the use of 3 effluents we use in this project. After that, we have drafted some conclusions, some short conclusions, and we have an open question. Well, horticulture, the framework is the practice that allow us to have edible horticultural products. And this can be performed, of course, in soil, in natural soil, but also in soilless systems, like this one in the right, that are growing bags in order to grow plants. It's not very usual to see that, but this kind of production is very important in Spain. But not only edible products, but also plants for gardening, for restoration, plants that grow in pots, not in soil. So they are also soilless systems. And these pots are filled with a substrate, no soil, and the plants are grown in these pots. So it's quite evident, but the origin of water for horticulture, for agriculture, is groundwater and also surface water from rivers. And fertilizers, normally, till now it's changing that, but till now is a massive use of synthetic fertilizers that are chemicals. So we need energy and we need resources to produce them. How we apply these inputs? Water can be applied without fertilization, and then the solids, the fertilizers, are normally applied into the soil. But also, water can be applied with the fertilizers. That means that we manufacture a nutrient solution, And the system to apply this nutrient solution is called fertigation. So the effluents get in the infusion project, in the infusion system, we apply it as a fertigation system, okay? So we apply it water and fertilizers. So there is a challenge very important, that is the replacement of the synthetic fertilizers, as I told you, are chemical, and to replace them for byproducts, and this is needed because the reasons I told you before. And another issue is the water scarcity in our Mediterranean region, and particularly in Catalonia. We had like 4 or 5 years of a drought, deep drought. So the objective here of IRTA in this project mainly was to conduct these experiments to test new circular horticultural systems using effluents from the infusion systems as a nutrient solution. So what is actually a nutrient solution? We need to manufacture with water. We should dilute simply nitrogen into forms in nitrate and ammonium. And also we have to add potassium, phosphorus, calcium. Normally in our waters are in the water. And we want water low in sodium and chloride. This is highlighted in red, an ideal nutrient solution for plants. An ideal nutrient solutions contains, as you can see, a high concentration of nitrates respect to the concentration of ammonium. Nitrogen is the key element for plant growth. So, of course, there are others nutrients, phosphorus. This is for buffering the solution and others, but these key elements we are going to focus on. Of course, the well water, the original water in which we dilute the nutrients is very low normally in nutrients. And this is the reason why we add chemicals to increase the proportion of these nutrients. So this is this scheme we have been talking about with other presentations, and we try to use basically 3 effluents from the system. The first one is the digestate that comes from the bioreactor, okay? The second one is a concentrate, called also pure, from ultrafiltration. And the third one is the reclaimed water that is obtained after several processes, after ultrafiltration and reverse osmosis. So we are going to focus in the agronomic use of these 3 products. What we should do if we want to use such products, such effluents. First, we have to characterize the product, the composition. Then, to check the feasibility of the direct use, if possible. It's not easy, but it can be possible. Then, if needed, we have to adapt the composition of this solution to the nutrient solution needed. And another possibility that is not excluded for the other ones, the third ones, is to use selected plants that can be more tolerant, for example, to some parameters. What kind of situations can occur? First, we can find, like in this case, in life infusion effluents, to have high salinity in our effluents. In this case, we have to dilute with well or surface water. We can have an inappropriate pH. Normally, these products have a high pH, and then we have to add an acid. Another option is to add nutrients to the effluents if needed. And the last one I put here is to limit the use of the solution if it is too concentrated. So this is a table with the main parameters of our products, the dish states, the pure or concentrate, and the climate water. So you can see the high electrical conductivity of the first effluents received, for example, from water. That is 1/4. So it's very limiting electrical conductivity. As you can see, the climate water has a lower electrical conductivity because of all the processes that have happened. And another key parameter is ammonium concentration. You can check the high ammonium concentration and compare it to the table with, in which we have shown the composition, normal composition of a normal nutrient solution is like just 1 milliequivalent per liter. So it's a very, very high ammonium concentration. And here you can see the aspect of the different effluents we have been working on. So at the end, we were working with pot production and growing bags in these effluents for concentrate or pure and this state, and for the reclaimed water, we worked with growing bags. And why this? Why do we work with pots, or in general with soilless systems? Because if we apply this water in soil, the soil has like a buffer effect. So we apply the product, and the plant will catch other things different than our solution. And in these systems, the roots are more exposed, more close to our product. So a short explanation of the experiments. This is for the concentrate. We worked with 2 species, with lettuce and with another species that is Asteriscus maritimus, that is very tolerant to salinity. And in this case, we performed 4 treatments, 4 ways to apply nutrients. The first one was a control, no fertilization. The second one was control negative, no fertilization. Control positive, a conventional fertilizer, solid one. The treatment D1 to 10, it was the diluted concentrate. Diluted concentrate is a little bit tricky question. Diluted pure, and we apply it from 2 to 3 times per week manually. So not all the irrigation events were performed with the pure, because we thought that we were applying too much ammonium. This was our first approach. And the other treatment was to apply this also in the same conditions, a more diluted pure, a more diluted product, okay? So in addition, when we manufactured these products, these dilutions, we kept the products in a refrigerator because we wanted to avoid other processes inside the products. So we, for example, nitrification or the nitrification, we wanted to really to keep the liquids in good conditions. And we measured during the whole period of growing the plants, for growing the plants, the different parameters, different key parameters. pH, EC, nitrates, and ammonium. You have noticed that we have not added acid to the solution. Instead, that the pH is high. Normally, plants want a pH like 6.5, more or less. And this is because we expect that the substrates can make a certain lowering of this pH. Buffering effect also. This is a view of the experiment with 4 treatments. Remember that the application was manually and not every time that we were watering, it was applied. We added also just water in some irrigation events. And we are going to see just the results for lettuce, a short view. And we achieve, of course, if we have a control negative, the plants really don't grow because we choose a substrate with low fertility. And that means that plants don't have any nutrients for growing. So we have really a very low growing of the plants. And this was for checking that we were using an appropriate substrate. And then you can see that control positive was growing more than the other ones that our diluted treatments, diluted effluent treatments. And we really, for asteriscos, for the other species, we had better results for the more concentrated solution. So we concluded that it was still room for applying more product. So this is the reason why we schedule another experiment. If you remember, the composition of the digestate and the concentrate was quite similar in general terms. So we had digestate available for doing the experiments, and we made another two experiments more for lettuce and for another ornamental species that is Limoniastrum monopetalum. Again, the kind of experiment was like the same, control negative, control positive. Then we applied a solution with digestate at 150 ppm of ammonium, and another one with half of this concentration. And in this case, the product was inside the greenhouse. So we didn't keep in a refrigerator this product. It was in normal in-field conditions. And we applied continuously the products. So with the net of irrigation, this product was applied all the time. In a second experiment, we check a double of the concentration. So this is the table is showing the concentration, the properties of in the 2 trials of the different solutions. And this is, just remember that we were working in real conditions. This is a view of this second experiment with digestate that comprises two different experiments, with particularly with lettuce. And these are the results in this case. In the first trial, we achieve equal growth between the control positive and our treatments. This was achieved, but the results were quite low. And in the second one, in which we increased the concentrations of ammonia, we achieved higher performance, higher growth of the lettuce, and of course it was different from the negative control. So we have found that we had a positive response when ammonium concentration was increased. And similar results were obtained for limoniastrum. So till here, the first two effluents, and then Karma will continue with the other one. Thank you.
Okay, then I'm Carmen Biel, and I want to explain the third effluent that we use, that is the Requemed water, and we made the essays with tomatoes. Okay, as you remember that Rafi explained, we have a reclaimed water that has the value of the electrical conductivity is 10, but we need to decrease this value, and also we have to decrease the ammonium content for use for irrigation. Then the thing that we decide to do is to mix in different proportion the reclaimed water with well water of our facilities to try to decrease the electrical conductivity and the ammonium content. And then if we I don't know if it is if we mix the 25% of reclaimed water with well water, we achieve these values of electrical conductivity and ammonium. Then no, this is the process. I don't know where is the, no. And then, as Rafi explained, there are a lot of ammonium and nitrates, but the plants need potassium and phosphorus, and then we added to this irrigation water, we also added potassium and phosphorus. Okay, and this is a view of the experiment with bags, plastic bags filled with perlite as a substrate. Okay, and I want to show you only a few results. One is the view of the plants after 4 months of growth, and the production of tomatoes, the commercial, the total production and the commercial production. And you can see that in purple colors, the reclaimed water, that there are a big decrease of production, of total production, and also in commercial production. Also, we measure the quality of the fruits, that we measure the size of the fruits, and also the weight of the individual fruits. And you can see that with the reclaimed, when we irrigated with reclaimed water, the size of the tomatoes decreased. This is an accumulative effect of the salinity and so on. And also we have a high sugar contents, that it can be a good thing if we are looking for this quality parameter. No, but we have more sugars, more taste, but we have less production. The conclusions of all the essays, all the agronomic essays that we have explained, is that it's possible to use these effluents to irrigate or to fertirrigate crops, at least in the environmental conditions of our conditions in Mediterranean, because we have shown in the tanks that we accumulated these products, that it's a dynamic process, and we saw that the ammonium is transferred to nitrates, and this is a good news. But we have to think that we have to study more how to treat this effluent. No, we have to remove the solids. We have to adjust the nutrient composition, and if we want to use these products for horticulture products that we have to consume in fresh consume, we have to try to hygienize these products. But the main result is that we can use this. And one question that we want to think is that if we want to implement the life infusion treatments, we thought that it's one possibility is to promote the installation of gardens or nurseries near to the copars or the plants that we obtain these products to grow ornamental plants for the same eco-park or for the parks of the public parks of the city. It is our main results. Thank you.
Thank you to Carmen Biele and Raffaella Cáceres. Now we have finished the first section. Before starting the second section, we have 10 minutes break. See you later. Okay, we are ready to start. Okay. Take your place, please. Okay, the first. Okay, thank you, thank you. Second session, we have in connection, we see François Bonnet. Bonjour, bienvenue. Secretary General Acer Plus. The title is Fair Play Project, Circular Fertilizer for Healthy Soils. François Bonnet.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me well. Yes? Is it okay? Wonderful. So I'm really sorry that I couldn't join you today. And so buongiorno a tutti, buenas tardes. If I understood well, you are a lot of Spanish with us. It was very interesting to see that this Life Fusion project is a little bit an application of what I will present to you now, because Fair Play is really to promote circular fertilizers in different value chain, I would say. So first of all, maybe for those who do not know us, ACR Plus, and I'm happy to say that both AMU Genoa and the metropolitan area of Barcelona are our member. So it's good to be with you today. So ACR Plus, as it was mentioned before, it's a network existing since 30 years, and we try to help public authorities, so decentralized authorities, to move towards more circularity in their public policy. You can see that we have a lot of different kind of members in different countries, and one of our service that we give to our member is to implement or to test project and pilot project on specific area. So you can see here the 5 thematic areas where we work on, and one is sustainable food systems, and Fair Play is a project dealing with, within this thematic area. And the idea is really to close the loop within this thematic area, closing the loop, so really from the very beginning to the end of pipe. So when we produce organic waste, and we can put them again in the soil, and to use them as fertilizer, as it was also mentioned during the first presentations. So one thing that I really would like also to emphasize a little bit is that ACR Plus was born because we thought that it was really important already 30 years ago to decrease the production of waste, and that the best waste is the one that does not exist. So we really push a lot for prevention. But of course, we all know, especially when we deal with, at municipal level, with municipal waste management, that even if we have a strong prevention policy, we still have a lot of quantities of waste that we have to deal with. And of course, you are better than me on that, because I'm not a technician, but the organic waste fraction is not an easy fraction to deal with. And especially when you put it in the landfill, you really want to have less quantity of bio waste in your landfill plant. So it is really the idea within Fair Play, but in the different action that we do with this sustainable food system, is really to decrease the quantity of organic waste that we produce, and also to take care of our soil, because it's really something that we have seen that we do not care enough about soil health in general in the EU member states. So now, direct to the project, the idea is really to increase the use of circular fertilizers by, of course, minimizing the pollution at the beginning, and to promote the use of that in order to increase the soil health and to have less use of chemical fertilizers. So we try with this project to promote circular fertilizers through recycled waste, subproducts, and wastewater. So the idea is to revert, to reduce, to avoid. And so with this project, we also want to create the good condition to promote these fertilizers. And we know that not only the public authorities should be conscious about the good thing to use this kind of fertilizers, but we really need to promote the value chain involved, and so all the stakeholders, the actors being part of this value chain. And so the different goals of this project was to get to know better those actors, to create together this value chain and the communication and dissemination in order to be able to really tackle issues and benefits, and to really tailor the solutions to everybody. I mean, all the actors of the value chain, and also to propose new ways to interact together. And of course, to raise public awareness about the need to take care of our soil in general. So the project is a 30-month project. It will be nearly at the end, by the beginning of next year. It's less important than your project in terms of budget, 2 million, but full financed by the EU, because it's an Horizon Europe project. And with 12 partners, so you see the different kind of partners we have in order to really include all the actors of the value chain. So we have public administration, farmers and farmers association, fertilizer producers, and agriculture and with valorization researchers. The first step was to map and select alternative fertilizer value chains, and I will show you in the next slides which one. Assess the impact of selected value chains and disseminate about them. And at the end is to have deliverables with recommendation and good practices in order to raise awareness about those circular fertilizers. So you see the variety of the consortium, and for us, I mean the partners of the project, it was important to have representative of the different steps of the value chain. And so you see the different one, and we have also Italian and Spanish, because the Spanish Centema researcher is the coordinator of this project. And we have also experts in communication, because really the aim was also to promote this circular fertilizer through communication tools. So first of all, the researchers and different partners mapped 61 value chains. I have to say that it was based on literature. So we do not have pilot in this project. It's really bringing data from experience before, or from articles and research, but we do not have pilot like I think you have in the Fusion Live project. So you see the 7 selection: urban wastewater, industrial wastewater, sewage sludge, bio-waste, biological byproducts, digesta, and treated manure. So you see that we have cross activities with your project. And the idea is really to co-create this value chain and to have recommendations for public authorities in order to promote the different value chain. So there was also a life cycle analysis, sustainability assessment with the three aspects, so environment, economy, and social, in order to really give the best arguments towards the public authorities who has to promote those value chains. And normally the last deliverable will be delivered next month. We have already published guidelines for public authorities to give some recommendation how to promote circular fertilizer. And those recommendations are based on different working groups. And so based, of course, not on the pilot, but on current experience, you have working groups tackling the different steps and the different stakeholders in order to really tailor the recommendations to the entire value chain. And within these also guidelines, we have good practices. I can give you 2 or 3 examples. For example, I know that in Croatia, in this Cork, if I pronounce it well, island, they have a program where you have really at community level citizens helping to better selective collection of organic waste and to promote compost and composting at neighborhood. And once or twice per year, they have this big event at community level, I mean municipality level, to redistribute composting to the citizens. Also in Sweden, you have a lot, and in other European municipalities, a lot of municipalities, they collect the agriculture waste, so mainly the organic waste, and they treat it on behalf of the agriculture. And afterwards, they give back to the farmers. So the key recommendation, you can see them on the slides. So of course, the most important thing is to control the entrance. And so when we speak about selective collection of waste, it's really important to have a good entrance, so a good quality of what is put on the selective bin, not always easy. We know, for example, that in Catalonia, they had in the past this container in streets for organic waste, and it was not of good quality. So they decided to change the system of selective collection and to have more door-to-door selective collection in order to increase the quality also of the organic waste. So very important to have this control really at the beginning of the process. Engage public participation in order to get them aware that the quality is important and the what they put in the bin or for the organic waste for citizens, but in general, it's really important. Also, when you want to promote something, you need to be sure that you have the circle well done, so that you have created a value chain and that you can rely on users of the end product, so of the circular fertilizers. And of course, it's always important to get in touch and to involve the farmers, because they need to be trusted by the product that you want them to use. So it's really, really important to get them on board since the beginning. So you see here a key recommendation for wastewater and for bio-waste. And those recommendations are based on this discussion within the working group. So with, based on current practice that are already put in place in different areas of the EU. And you see that, of course, for wastewater, what is important is really to decrease hazardous elements in your water and to implement segregated collection of yellow, brown, and gray wastewater, if it's possible. For the bio-waste, you have a lot of pilot programs to better understand the entrance and what should be improved. And of course, also when you speak about selective collection and you ask an effort from the citizens, it's really important to have also a convenient collection system in order to, let's say, help and facilitate the green behavior of your citizen. Quality control before, during, and after collection are always, of course, an important element. And about the public participation engagement, we do not always consider that this part is really important and should be tailored to the audience you want to target. So it's really important also to promote by the benefits that you can have using those kind of fertilizers. So not only environmentally speaking, but also economically speaking and socially speaking. So the three key elements. So again, important to create the value chain. So beforehand, mapping the available feedstock and the local needs, because we know also that it's really important to work as much as possible at local level to decrease the impact on the environment for transport, etc. And we all know how difficult and not pleasant it is to transport the organic fraction. So better to work at local level as possible. Connect with stakeholders, as I mentioned before, and also since the beginning involving the end users. Maximize the profitability through industrial symbiosis. And if possible, and if, of course, you are the right stakeholder, to put legal and financial support in order to boost and help startups on the topic. So what is also very important, and we have seen it in the Fair Play project, is that you have already existing initiatives and platforms and a lot of, let's say, cooperation between different actors already existing. And it's really important to use what already exists, because like that you have better knowledge, because, for example, Chamber of Agriculture, you have in one spot, you have already all the agriculture around the table, and you can really discuss on very technical needs and expectation, etc., instead of trying to have an isolated farmer trying to explain you what they need, etc., etc. So you have to take advantage of what is already existing. On-site visit is really important to really understand what is happening and lead by example, especially with green public procurement. And I think that what you have explained before in the first session, it's really interesting, and maybe could be also, I mean, already the good result could be spread among municipalities and Barcelona and Genova, and maybe to promote already in the public park, etc., the use of this kind of fertilizers. And of course, we are here also maybe to partner with other regions and to exchange on the results. And that's why I'm really happy to combine those two projects today, because, you know, I think that in the EU we have a lot of beautiful EU-funded projects, but a lot of time we do not know that other projects exist and can be complementary one to another. So I think that today it's a very good opportunity to see how we can also, through the Fair Play project, promote your results. So I'm not a technician, and my two colleagues, Jean-Benoît Bell and Beray Kelly, can certainly give you more technical fundings about this project and the different value chains they have selected. And so I really invite you to be in touch with them. Thank you very much.
Françoise Bonnet, merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Grazie.
The next is a Sea City, a circular path on eco-design, reuse and long use towards 2030-2050. She's a Sustainability and Resilience Manager Office, Municipality of Genoa. Welcome to Claudia Pinna.
First of all, I want to give you my greetings from my office. I am humble representing the Municipality of Genova. And this is a different vision. I mean, there was very, very nice and very into deep and technical presentation. This is a different presentation. This is the business model and the role of local authorities, in particular Genova, has acted for being and act as a sustainable city. Sorry. You can see a little bit of context. Genova has begun a process of comparing and using the Lighthouse City that, together with the actions of the Genova 2050 Action Plan, has customized and planned and project a little bit of the future plans about sustainability and resilience of the city of Genova towards and boosting to 2030 and 2050. So the Lighthouse City Framework was also a platform created to measure the 12 largest Italian cities and to find out the 160 KPIs that could be measured to find out the best practice to be a resilient and sustainable city. The Action City has been proposed within the action plan, as I said, Genova 2050, and the document was approved in the municipality of Genova in 2021. This is very important because it was an official act of the municipality, and so Genova can be, authorized to be official within Europe. The action aimed at the transformation of Genova and wanted to adhere and to boost the principle of sustainability and circularity in the main strategic supply chain in the territory. It was launched in 2022, financed by the Ponte Metro Cities project 2014-2020, and has won several prizes within the years, as the important Istanbul Awards, and the best one is the news that we had yesterday. We won another auction that we had within the EU-RACT program. We has been selected as best practice as sustainable circular city. So I don't want to annoy you. If you want, you can see in the slides afterwards. But the project pursued a lot of different objectives. Above all, improve the high cycle of waste management by closing the loops. And this aim also to re-engineer the collection system and encourage the neighbor scale of the reuse in urban centers, of course, aim at a sustainable and resilient city, as I said before. And it was the idea of incentivize and maximize the bioeconomy solution to have sustainable productions processes, strengthen the delivery system of proximity of urban services, such as social markets, or to find out to try to find the food waste and food insecurity by promoting sustainable short supply chain, short and very 0 kilometer market, and sharing with the community and the stakeholder of the city. In particular, C-City has designed and implemented a circular hub and a circular desk. Obviously, I don't want you to annoy because you are in the circular hub and you are in the surplus center, but you can see a lot of realization of the circular economy that we tried and we are going to do in the next future. So this is the idea of the Genova for the circular economy. And we had also the circular economy, the circular hub, the circular desk. We did also a platform, a web page, a web platform, and we are trying to do all to improve our events. We have also a center that is called Job Center, where all the stakeholders and the new startups are collecting their ideas and their new projects. And we did, for example, some experience and partying and talk like the SWAT parties and some culinary experiences and some SWAT parties and contests. We did, for example, for the ocean race, we spread the idea to do some different projects above all the 9 municipalities of the city, and every municipality has done these letters to form the word ocean race. And then they are the multiple spin-offs of the project that are aiming to do better and more in the future. As I said, you can see in the future in the slide without annoying you. So this is the prize that we are very, very, very nice to present you, is the Circular Economy Urban Good Practice label that is announced yesterday. And we want to do even better good practice more and more together with all the stakeholders of the city. Thank you very much, and if you want some more information, we are at your disposal.
Grazie Claudia Pinna. Thank you. Now we talk about Scarpino. Scarpino yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Plant Management Innovative Technological Development Manager, AMIU Genova SPA, e con noi Simone Laverneda.
Hello everybody, I'm happy to be here to this workshop to show you what is Scarpino. I know many of you visited the site this morning, but it can be this presentation, I hope, a useful follow-up. I'm going to talk about Scarpino yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and I want to show you how things have changed from the past into the future. First of all, I want to spend a few words about the past. The old landfill was built in 1968 on the hills around Genova, in a period of time where there were no regulation, no environmental regulation. And that's the result. There was an uncontrolled disposal of waste, you can see on the picture on the left, and many problems immediately known. The most important was, as you can imagine easily, leachate problem, because the valley where the old landfill was built was named Lakes Valley. Things have changed through the years, and this is a situation many years later when the regulation were more environmental oriented. But now we want to have a look for the situation today. This is the site, and I want to show you what you have seen this morning, the plants you have seen. I think you have visited the biogas plant, then the TMB, this is under construction, the photovoltaic field, and the leachate treatment. In the following slides, I'm going to focus more on these plants. But I want to make attention on what the company is doing at the moment. A great effort, technical effort, to cap all the old landfills. To cap, it means to separate the waste from the environment. And this great effort is carried out completely by AMIO team. All the rules are covered by AMIO workers, such as operational staff, certifier, work supervisor, and so on. Here in this picture, you can watch some examples of what we are doing. On the left, the construction of the new landfill, currently open, and in the picture on the right, other activities ongoing in these days. When possible, in order to follow the principles of economy, circular economy and sustainability, we use end of waste, secondary raw materials and byproducts, when possible because of the regulations. This is a slide that shows the leachate treatment plant. I think you visited it in the morning, but I think it's necessary to spend more words about it. It is based on... no, what happened? It is based on reverse osmosis, and it is a capacity of 220 cubic meters per hour. So.
Okay, there is a little technical problem for the condivision from TV.
We are not lucky. That's a pity because we have many beautiful images to show. Above all, when we are going to talk about the future. Okay, we can go on. Thank you for your patience. I was talking about the leachate treatment plant. I told about its capacity, and this slide shows which are the outputs of the plant. I think the most important are ammonium sulfate, permeate, obviously, and in the next slide we will see water as well. Ammonium sulfate, I heard about other presentation, other experience as in a Life Infusion, the same subject is a problem for everyone. We have this output, and after a registration at REACH, European Register, we have now at the moment a byproduct. So we can sell it on the free market. This is very important for the company because it allows to save money, and because this product can be used for useful purposes. The main of them are in agriculture, as I saw in the last few presentations, as a nitrogenous fertilizer, and also in the metal and leather industry, and as a chemical reagent. So many uses. I don't know if it works. Yes, okay. The other output, very important, water. It's obviously why it is important. We had 2 years of severe drought, and so it's important to store water, and I'm talking about industrial water, can be used on site for firefighting and track wetting. Many important use for the landfill, for the site too. Let's change plant. We are talking about biomethane plant. This has been the first biomethane production plant from landfill gas on industrial scale. It is built on 2020, at the end of 2020, and it has a capacity of 1,500 cubic meter per hour. As output, we have biomethane, and probably you know very well, but it is a renewable fuel that can be used for many purposes, such as fuel for transport and to produce, in order to produce electricity and heat. This is the biological mechanical treatment plant, and nowadays is under construction. Photovoltaic field, 1.5 megawatt of power. It is financed by Pond Metro React-EU. We finished it last year. It is very important. I think it's quite beautiful because it characterizes the site. And obviously for the self-production of electricity, and it produces around the 50% of the site needs. In this picture, you can watch today, tomorrow, and tomorrow what we want to do. These are not a project developed in details, but it is a master plan. It is an idea for the future, a sort of vision for the future, what the company would like to be the site in the next years. In the next years, it will be a green park, a large park for outdoor activities with 5 operational sectors. This is the beautiful slide I was talking before. On the left, you can see the situation today, and on the right, a realistic photo render for the future. You can see we are in the same point of view on the entrance, more or less. The first sector, the entrance and the reception, where there will be the service buildings and a tree-lined car park where people can leave their cars and they can choose if they want to go by car with electrical vehicles, or if they want to go on foot following the orange line, going through land path, land art, and cultivated terraces in a beautiful scenario. The BioLake, a new idea. The BioLake divided into areas with deep water for swimming, for taking sun, for just relaxing, with solarium, shaded spaces, and tree-lined areas. And with shallow water, where we think we can plant aquatic and submerged plants to carry out phytopurifying and oxygenating actions. Another beautiful picture, situation today, situation in the future. You can watch a good landscape with green grass and beautiful flowers and trees. Third sector is outdoor sport, a sort of village for sports, with pitches for volleyball, for basketball, paddle, and so on. In this picture, you can watch better the sport village situation today. Number 4, green mindfulness, a place where people can just relax in the nature with a strong contact with the nature itself, where people can have a meditation, landscape observation, beautiful scenario. You are between sea and sky, and so people can just relax, read a book, and so on. The last part of this park will be, we are in the bottom part of the site with the great slope and downhills. This can be a paradise for bikers because these tracks you see in the red lines can be connected with the existing network of the Alta Via dei Monti Liguri. So a very nice experience for people who love this kind of sport. Thank you for your attention. I'm available if you have any questions. Thank you.
Simone Laverneda, grazie. And the last speech for today, there is the title, Sustainability of Circular Economy, a Scientific Approach, a Long Process Life Cycle. She's a Vice Chancellor for Sustainability of the University of Genoa. Welcome to Adriana Del Borghi.
So thank you very much for inviting us to conclude this very interesting day. It's a pleasure to me, as already also worked with Amio, so I'm very happy to be here. I would like just to spend a couple of words. I know you're all tired, but I would like just to spend a couple of words concerning some aspects which I would like to focus on concerning circularity. We are always used to think about circular economy as just an issue of managing waste and just to close the loops. But of course, we all know that circular economy is a matter of business and is a business model. So we'll have to include and we'll have to consider all the issues related to the design of circularity, starting from the early phases of design. So just a couple of spots and challenges concerning circular economy. So today, during afternoon, we have seen several very interesting projects and examples of circular economy. but I have some question to you. So we are really sure that circular economy, our circular economy project are really sustainable. So do we have perform calculation concerning all the life cycle of our project? We spent several times in performing similar exercise, just having interesting results on comparing circular solution to other with scientific tools. I will present briefly later, but I'm sure you already know these tools. But I guess that should be some interesting results on that. In particular, we'll have to. My suggestion, our academic approach and research approach, of course, is not just to consider one alternative, but of course to compare several circular economy options. And in particular, closing the loops, it's not always, not in that field, but for example, in other application of circularity, closing the loop is not always the best options, as sometimes we can have issues in losing efficiency, in having impacts, for example, on quality loss and so on. So we'll have to be very careful when we just think about closing the loops. So life cycle thinking is a very well-known way on just performing an assessment of project and circular idea and inspiration, just to consider all the phases of the life cycle of the project. So we'll have to compare and both the circular project to the compared with the linear one, but also with other circular option, considering all the aspects. So all the life cycle phases, starting from the raw material extraction, all the chemicals which are used, for example, to leach, for example, fertilizers. We have seen several projects concerning fertilizer production, which is very useful, as we'll have an end-of-life options, second life options for some very useful byproducts and co-products from the life cycle. But sometimes, and we encountered a problem like that in a project for which has been asked to us to perform life cycle assessment on the whole life cycle, that the leaching phase with acid chemicals is very impactful, just considering that we'll have to produce acid to extract fertilizers, for example, if we perform leaching and acid leasing. So this is just an example that we'll have to consider all the issues related to the life cycle if you would like to be pretty sure that we are not just shift burn from a phases to another one. In particular, a life cycle assessment is a well-known tools that can be used just to perform with a quantitative approach. This calculation is a standardized procedures. It follows ISO standards, and in particular, my favorite goal of life cycle assessment is just these three bullet points. So we'll have to be sure that we are not moving impacts just from a phase to another, to other substances, to other regions or continents, and to the future. In particular, when we talk about landfill, we'll have to include times in our calculation. So this is the approach. In particular, it's a very interesting approach, not just at research level, but also at a very high application now, is the way to combine circularity index with life cycle assessment indicator and results. So we can take from the circular economy approach just the inspiring vision and the idea of minimizing environmental impacts towards circularity, but of course we'll have to couple this approach with the life cycle approach, so we'll have to couple accountability to circularity. So the combination of circular economy and life cycle assessment can be performed using traditional tools for life cycle assessment, but also combining them with the the measure of well-known indicators, for example, of material circularity indicator from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation and circular transition indicators that can be combined and merged with traditional life cycle assessment impact phase, which account in particular life cycle impacts towards climate change, acidification, eutrophication, and other environmental and well-known impacts. So I guess this can be a very interesting approach that can be included in other projects, for example, just to be sure that we combine and consider all the impacts of all the very interesting circular project and application. In particular here, we can see just a list of sectors where this approach is already developed. For example, the automotive industry, packages sectors, electronic industry, and construction are sectors in which this approach is starting to be applied. And I guess it can be a very interesting way to be sure we assess all our impacts in a reliable way. So here you can find just a list of our last project. We work both as a research level, as University of Genoa, but also we work with our spin-off Thetis Institute, which is a consulting startup born within the University of Genoa Department of Engineering. In particular, this one was the project I mentioned above concerning the necessity of a reliable assessment of all the impacts when we compare circular solution. In that project, we also decide to calculate not just environmental impact, but also the social impact of circularity. This is another very interesting issue that had to be included in this one, in this approach. So future perspective can be just the inclusion of all the aspects when we have good ideas, when we have, of course, the inspiring vision to close the loops, but also with an accountability that can help just to complete our calculation without shift impacts from a phase to other. So here I'll have my contacts. Thank you very
Adriana
much.
Del Borghi, thank you. Thank you very much. And for the conclusions, I call here the chairman of AMIO, Giovanni Battista Raggi. Thank you all to be here with us today. And now the conclusions.
Very short, as usual. Thanks to everybody to be here, and thanks for all the things and all the projects that you show us. And unfortunately, I have to say that I read now that in Spain there were a very, very big tragedy in Valencia for Dana effect flows, and so we are very close to you, to all the Spanish people, and I'm very sorry for that, but we are very happy to have you here, and you are safe here with us, and so I hope to see you next time, also over here or in Spain, and thank you for all. Thanks very much to all of you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you to all the technical assistants, difficult today to do this. Good work at all. Thank you, goodbye, see you soon.